Hello, and welcome to Young Global Leaders, where we get the chance to hear from young people hailing from all around the world, sharing about themselves, their accomplishments, and their vision for a better world. Recently, I had the privilege of leading a group of about 100 young people from over 40 countries to 7 global regions on an 8-month global gap year program. Most of them had just graduated from high school, though we also had a few older students. During our 8+ months together, the students formed a deeply loving and supportive community. Anyone could see that they had built something unique and inspiring. Through my eyes as a teacher, coach, and global leadership consultant, what I saw was unlike anything I'd seen before. When the program ended, I desperately wanted to keep in touch with these students and to share their example with the world. So I started the Young Global Leaders podcast. Today, we hear from Aïcha Amar. Aïcha Amar, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Jason. It's truly a pleasure to be here with you today.
Likewise. Can you start by sharing with us where you're joining us from today?
Oh, I'm actually in Dubai, the UAE. I just started my university term 2 weeks ago, and yeah,
Wow.
went from traveling the world to traveling the world for a second round. So,
Okay, we're going to come back to your university later when we start to talk about your future. But
oh,
actually,
okay, that was.
since it is so current and
Mm-hmm.
so real right now, this transition is such a big deal. Can you just share a couple of quick observations about Dubai and also just about your life right now?
All right. So, right after Bahrain, I went home for a bit and got ready to come to this very special university called Teta College of Business, where every semester we travel to a new country. I came 2 weeks ago, September 1st, here in Dubai, and the first thing that shocked me was the heat. Uh, it's really humid, really dry, so there's a bit of adaptation that has been going on, but it's truly a hub of interconnectivity, of cultural exchange. So I've been kind of feeling like home. It feels like home so far. And yeah, I'm loving it, Jason. What
Oh,
else
that's
to say?
great. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. Good. Okay,
Hmm.
well, just to dive right in, I'd love to invite you to share the your answer to the same question that I ask everybody first, which is, what makes you
Hmm.
you?
Ooh, that's a hard one, isn't it? Um, I'll say qualities, maybe. I'm all about imagination, about resilience. Let me share something with you, Jason. When I was 9, I had a stroke.
Mm,
So doctors told me that, I might be impaired, I might not do, not operate to my fullest capacity. And I had the chance of, having a wonderful family that guided me through all of this. So from a very young age, I've tried to turn challenges into strength. And I would say my imagination helped me a lot. Imagining where I'll be in the future, how I could talk normally in the future. So just refusing to accept what the word has to that the word has to say the way it is. So
mm.
I'll say that that's what makes me me.
Wow, I did not know that about the stroke when you were 9 years old. That's
Mm,
I can only imagine how that set a frame for the rest of your life and the challenges that you've had to overcome. So I really appreciate you sharing that with all of us.
of course, Jason. I mean, it has become a strength. I used to be a bit ashamed of it for some reason, right?
Mm,
But I believe that sharing that aspect of myself can empower more and more young people that are facing maybe the same issue. Truly, anything is possible, isn't it?
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you're getting us off to a great start here. I really appreciate just that you just like went there right away. Um,
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you could
Hmm.
share with our listeners a little bit about this global adventure that you and I were both recently on together.
Ooh, time to talk about Bahrain.
Yeah.
So, Bahrain scholars. It was not in my agenda at all. Gap years are not a thing at all in my community. Uh, so I didn't know about it until I started searching for a different type of university. That's when Theta came, and that's when Barre came. So I've
So can you
looked up
share?
the.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Aisha. I think it would be great for our listeners to know, where were you when all of this was happening?
Oh, I was still in high school. Still
Where?
in high school, in Senegal, um, refusing to go to a traditional university. So I've heard of Barre scholars through some research. Um, and yeah, I applied and got in. It was not easy to convince my family that, I'll be going in a gap year with a new program that just started. Truly, some of them thought I was a bit insane, but I took the risk, and yeah, Barre became such a wonderful experience for me. To be honest, they they made their promise come to life. It was my best year yet in terms of human connection, in terms of learning, of unlearning.
Mm.
Um, I've truly become a different person, and I think my close ones could tell you all about it. I've become a bit more crazy. I mean, people was expecting me to gain a bit more maturity, become, more settled in a way. Oh, she
Hmm.
traveled the world. Now, come on, you can go to university and do your studies. But it just empowered me to dream bigger, louder, and I'm proud of it, if I may say.
Mm.
Mm,
Wow. Okay. So I want to rewind a little bit, because the where you began, the story that you just shared with us, was your refusal to just go to a traditional university. Can you
hmm
share a little bit more with us about that? Like, what is it about a traditional university um, that didn't interest you, and why were you so adamant about not going to a traditional university?
I mean, I'm very lucky to have a mom that has a global perspective about education. A bit before COVID, she took us to the US. So we went from Senegal, our home country in West Africa, to Washington, D.C.
Mm.
And there I just discovered a new way of learning. It was outside the classroom, it was practical, technical, and coming from this old colonial style of teaching that was the French system, the
Mm.
French colonial system. It was truly a liberation. I started loving learning. Um, so unfortunately, COVID hit, and I had to come back for high school. I did my till 12th grades here in Senegal, but I've carried that sense of education can be better. Uh, to be honest, Jason, I've changed schools so many times in high school, 3 times.
Mm.
Every year I went to a new one, just looking for that new touch, for that practicality, for freedom in a way. I sitting in a chair for 10 hours a day, listening and then going home to do homework. That's my definition of a nightmare.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, I think that's what motivated me. My counselor knew that I would not be going to a traditional university, a traditional program, and she's the one that empowered me to apply to Barre Scholars. I mean, to be honest, she was a bit tired of me sending all this list of universities that I would not apply to. So, yeah, Barre Scholar made her job easier, if I might say.
Okay, so maybe I should get that's I love how you I'm sure it wasn't that though, right? Because I'm sure she was also inspired by you as well, right? She must have been. Come on.
Okay, okay.
Um, as I'm listening to you share all of this, I'm also
hmm
I'm wondering if, okay, so clearly, and this was also my experience of you, getting to know you throughout the year, is you're a bit of a force of nature, right? You've just got a very, very strong will, and there's actually a specific uh in the incident isn't the right word. There's something I want to ask you about later with this is the morning program in Nairobi, but we can get to that
All
in a
right.
moment. The more
Mm-hmm.
general question I wanted to start with is, I guess the word is iconoclast. Like you make choices that go
Mm-hmm.
against norms. And I'm wondering, because oftentimes there's a social price that is paid by iconoclasts. And when you're deviating from social norms, that can be really
Mm-hmm.
tricky. And I'm wondering if you've experienced that at all.
Oh, 100%. To be honest, the hardest part of doing theater and now coming to my university was convincing my family.
Mm,
Um, to them, it was just useless to spend money and to go around without a degree. So you could not leave the country without a good degree. That was the norm. It's either
mm,
you get a degree or you get married. So
okay.
I made my choice. And luckily my mom supported me a lot throughout this whole journey. I'll cite her a lot. I think she is the reason why I've made so much improvement and so much progress as a human being because she just kept challenging me.
Mm,
Okay, we'll move to a new country in 2 months. Get ready. All right, we're changing home in 2 weeks. Get ready. So the adaptability that she teaches me is the reason why I kind of I'm okay with being labeled in my
mm,
community. Because she was too. She left home very young, went to France, um, made something out of her life and came back. And today she's an inspiration for many young girls, if I might say,
mm,
in Dakar.
mm,
So truly, Jason, in life you have to make a choice. Either you erase yourself, lower your standard, walk straight like everyone else, or you create new path. And I like to say that I'm a path maker. I love
mm,
exploring this new route that no one ever did. I think no one in my whole lineage ever took a gap year.
mm.
So there's beauty in that, and yeah, this is what I like to do, if I might say. That's also a part of me.
Mm.
I don't know what answer the question though. I kind of got carried away.
Um,
Did it?
I feel like you did, and it sounds to me like the
Mm,
main the main um, factor that has contributed
mm-hmm,
to allowing you to continue to open up and explore in this way was the fact that you've had the support of your mother.
mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
um, I'll say not only her. Um, I've met amazing people throughout high school, throughout my journey. I mean, in 2020, I didn't speak a word of English, you
What?
know, not at all. They brought me to Washington, D.C., and I just know how to speak French and Wolof. Those were my two languages. So
Wow.
I've met teachers that were ready to teach me English in eighth grade. The basics like the colors, how to say, can I go out of class? So I've sorry, let me find
Benefited?
that my word. Benefited, thank you.
Mm,
A lot from kindness, from sports, people staying, I mean, after classes just to help. And in a way that kind of makes me want to go on, not only for myself and my mom, but for all those people that once believed in me and never gave up. So I cannot give up just for them. If that makes
wow.
sense.
Okay. Phew. There's one this is now is probably a good time to dig into this morning
Mm-hmm.
program in Nairobi because a lot of conversations had been happening that I didn't know about. All I saw
Mm-hmm.
was one morning at morning program. I saw that your name was showing up as a presenter, and the lighting in
Mm-hmm.
the room was different. There was background music playing, and I thought, what's going
Happening.
on? Yeah, what's actually happening here? Can you tell us the story about what you ended up creating just an incredible learning experience, but beyond a learning experience,
Mm-hmm.
just like a really a kind of an entry, what felt to me like into a almost just a different kind of a space, a different kind of a world. It
Mm-hmm.
was really, really special. Can you share with us what that was all about, how it came about, what you did, and what it was like for you?
Oh, of course. So, Kenya. I think it's my favorite country. From all of my travels, um, I've discovered that I love Africa a lot, and I just wanted to share what I knew of it to the rest of the world because, to be honest, I was one of the very few African participants of Barry Scholars. So there's a weight of representation that comes with it. Um, and I felt it when during the morning program, we kind of had the same profiles coming again and again. People that wanted to help Africa in a way and not necessarily understand it, not necessarily appreciate what it has to offer. So I went back home one day and just thought about it, the morning program, and I would say more its format was boring to me. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of school. So you come to a room, you sit down. Of course, you meet all these amazing people, but at the end of the day, you have to constrain yourself, sitting down, keeping quiet. Um, that was not my definition of learning. So I went to Claudia, to the morning program team, to Alexandra, and I proposed an idea. Let me show you my idea of the morning program that is crafted by a student for the students. So a more open space where people could actually jump from table to table, talk to different um, people, and just share the
Mm-hmm.
ideas. So the format was we began by a game where we had to represent an West African society, pre-colonial, like
Mm-hmm.
before the French and all these other cultural influence came. Um, I almost did not do it because at first I didn't feel any support from the student. It's like, oh my God, why does she want me to print this and have to learn about the Grey Earth and have to learn about African societies? I just want to, sit down and go back home. But
Mm.
after the session, after listening to the comments, how it has impacted the idea of what a morning program should do, I just realized I was the first Barre student ever to completely lead the morning program session all by herself. I mean,
Mm.
I got help, but he, I was proud to lead that session, to be on stage, to share my ideas with people, to hear the ideas about what West Africa could do better, because I'm sure I'm biased, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that was my idea of the morning program. I've received a lot of good advice and I'll say review.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Jason, that's
Well, okay. Thank you for sharing all of that. And I want to share with you and also with
yes.
all of our listeners just
Mm-hmm.
what a brilliant, because I'm an educator, I'm extremely nerdy when it comes to, how do we actually craft and structure and implement
Mm-hmm.
meaningful, long-lasting learning experiences for people. And
Mm,
I feel like what you designed and pulled off was at the absolute top level, like something
mm.
something that people who train for a lifetime, would be proud to have accomplished. And
Thank you, Jason.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, no, go, please go ahead.
I kind of had some experience with education. I think it has marked me so much. Back at home, I've started an NGO called Kidije. So after class, when I was drained and tired and wanted to drop out of high school, I'll go to this orphanage and have handcraft toys that I'll bring in that are educational. So I don't think that was my very first educational experience. I did that for 3 years. Got a lot of feedback, got featured on national TV. So I've also went to educators, actually people that studied human psychology, gave me courses.
Mm,
So I kind of knew what I was doing. I don't think that's just a lightning of genius. I've
mm-hmm,
asked a lot of advices. Um, but truly, I think that if I can do it, and if I can mark spirits that deeply, even a year after it has almost been a year, well, everyone can, in a way. We can all make education so much more interactive. Because truly, you learn by talking to people.
Hmm.
You learn by listening. You learn by getting out there. So, yeah, I'm sure we have a lot more things to discuss. So please feel free to cut me off.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
We do have other things. There's other questions I want to ask you. I'm not quite ready to
Mm-hmm.
leave this yet because I also want. There's one particular aspect of this learning experience that I found
Mm-hmm.
especially profound, and that was the way that you designed it. Is you had people at different tables who were representing
Mm-hmm.
different interests. So it was like
Yes.
it was a role playing exercise in a lot of ways,
Mm-hmm.
um, where we had it was I think I especially love about it is the way that you could not participate without empathizing with somebody who has a very different viewpoint than
Mm-hmm.
you might have. And I think that that's something that we just don't get enough of in our daily lives, where social media is sending us into our corners, our echo chambers, where we're
Mm-hmm.
only speaking with people who agree with us. And you really
That's true.
forced us, but not in a. It didn't feel forced. It actually was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun to sit back and imagine. Okay, so if I'm representing this interest, how would I
Mm-hmm.
go about making my plans and implementing my plans? And I don't know. I just felt like the kind of learning that happened that morning was really different and really special, and specifically because of the way that you presented us with an opportunity to empathize, to put ourselves in the position of somebody else, even if, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
even especially if that person was somebody with very different viewpoints and very different interests from what we would normally consider to be our own. I'm wondering if you
Yes.
could say a little bit about
Mm-hmm.
how intentional and deliberate that was and how you went about designing that aspect of the activity.
Oh, of course. I mean, yes, it was very intentional. A week before everything, I had a list of every participant, um, where they came from. I asked their friend what would they believe. I mean, what was the system of belief in a way globally? Because
Mhm.
I could not, gather all the information with just a few points, and I made the teams and the tables based on that. So I knew that by putting, for example, someone that was really into justice, social justice, as the role of a corrupted government, the conversation would be maybe a bit more interesting. Um, so yeah, I just crafted the sitting plan to represent conflict. I wanted conflict to happen in that room. That kind of sounds a bit
Yeah.
insane, but contradiction is my favorite way of learning.
Mm.
Talking to someone that has a completely different point of view than you forces you to either change or enhance your thinking systems, or you just have to adapt to I mean, what I'm trying to say here, and sorry, Jason, I've been on my feet for like 25 hours.
Woo.
Yes, college theater, it's it's insane, but I'm loving it. Anyway, so yes, in a few words, it was intentional. Um, I know some people might not have liked it because it was a bit intense, if I might say.
Mhm.
I give homework to people, research about West African culture because we have a system of points. Um, and it was not just that game. We also had the speaker that came from Senegal,
Mhm.
Africa That Dares. And
Mhm.
my goal with him was to challenge that thinking that people have about Africa that, oh my God, Africans are so lazy. Oh my God, why can they develop even after 60 years? I was trying to make them understand that system of, um, how can I, how can I describe it? It's a system to put Africa down
Mm-hmm.
from everything, from the resources, from the education. I was telling you that we are studying the old French curriculum. So
Right.
African students are learning about Europe and their history. Um, so there's a lot to be changed in my continent, and advocacy is one way we can get there.
Mm-hmm.
Advocating for ourselves as youngsters. I'm sure you have heard what Gen Z did in Nepal. I
Mm-hmm.
want that to happen in my country. I want people to wake up one day, be tired, and vote for a new president on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's my idea of development. Because if you just leave the millennials, Gen X, in control, then they have a say in our future, and we need a place at the table.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. There's so much in there. Yes, and I know I've got all these other questions to ask you, but I so appreciate what I'm hearing from you in terms of your just the clarity of your vision for the future and your willingness to take
Mm-hmm.
risks and to put in the really, really hard work. So anyway,
Thank you, Jason.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's what's coming through to me at this point in our conversation. So let's move on because
Mm-hmm.
there was there's this question I wanted to ask you about unlearning because you actually mentioned the term earlier in our conversation
Mm-hmm.
because we often talk about learning as an important outcome of a program like Beret Scholars.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious if you could share anything that you might have unlearned during your travels.
Oh, something that I've unlearned. Um, I think is the belief that independence means doing everything alone.
Mm,
So I've always thought I was a loner. I could um, fund my own education by getting scholarship. Uh, I could run my own NGO and not have a team. But with Beret, I just realized that you need to ask for help, and asking for help is not a weakness.
mm,
Coming to a new country when you don't know anything about the culture, about the language, and having to navigate that system, it humbles you. Um, and I think I got humbled multiple times.
mm,
For example, I was in New York, I think, very first night out at Barry Scholars in the big city after orientation, and I just bought that pizza. I was like, oh my God, there's so much. Let me give it to someone. And I tried giving it to a lady that has a baby on the street. I'm like, hey, ma'am, would you like dinner? And she started coming at me. Oh my God, don't feed me food. What are you trying to do to me? And I was like, excuse me, that was not my intention. So knowing that what you might see as appropriate, as nice, might even be an insult
mm,
in someone else's culture and vision. So I think with Barry Scholars, I learned every single day because we were 40 people from how many different nationalities? I mean, we were 100 people from 40 different nationalities. Yeah.
right. Yes.
Um, and yeah, having all these roommates from Kenya to China to Latin America, it was learning and unlearning at this deepest. I've realized that being messy is fine. Being messy in someone else's space is not. um, and I was okay with that because I lived with my sister. We shared a room, and we kind of adapt our personalities and lifestyle around messiness.
Mm,
So I would say unlearning is a big part of traveling. Um, I mean, traveling puts you in such position that you realize something is wrong in a way because your belief cannot all your belief can't be right. You have, I'm sure, biases. I love that test you shared with us at the beginning of Barre.
mm.
Because I did the tests later on and I realized my biases have not, I mean, lowered in a way, which is, I think, a good thing.
Yes.
So, yes, all these unconscious system of thinking, um, I've learned to overcome them and to think higher, put
Mm,
myself in someone else's shoes. And I think it was my favorite part of Barre, unlearning, in terms of knowledge and learning, being okay with listening to all opinions, no matter how scandalous I think they might be, no matter how, you know, different. If
Hmm.
someone is thinking that, there's a logic behind, I think, and you have to understand that or try to, not necessarily be okay with it, but if you have to challenge it, if you have to, deal with people that might have influence in your life whatsoever. For example, let's say roommates, a teacher. Um, you can't run away. You have to face those differences.
So I love basically everything that you just said, and there's one thing in particular that I want to point out because I think it's an underappreciated aspect of of intercultural learning. I mean, it's interpersonal and it's intercultural, and it's the piece that you said about
Mm-hmm.
trying to understand the logic of somebody else's system, whatever that is, whether it's their individual
Mm-hmm.
set of beliefs and values, cultural, whatever it is, and that's very different from being okay with it,
Mm-hmm.
right? That, we have our own values and beliefs and, behaviors that are associated with that. And because what I think happens a lot of times with humans is we won't even go there with somebody else. That is to say, we don't even want to engage because we feel a sense of threat to who we are. It's like, if I engage this person, am I
Mm-hmm.
somehow giving up who I am? That if I
Yes.
take a step toward you, I'm taking a step away from myself. And what's so profound about what you shared, I think, is it just gets us out of that trap of somehow feeling that I have to protect and defend everything about myself. No, actually, I can try to understand you. And that doesn't mean that we have to agree. It doesn't mean that I have to like your value system, but that there's tremendous value in just understanding. So I really appreciate you
Truly.
bringing that to light. I'm wondering now that I've articulated it that way, if you have anything else to say about that.
I mean, it just made me think of my reality right now as a data student. One of the requirements of the program is that you have to build a business with
Hmm.
people that you met 2 weeks ago. So we had 30 minutes to pick a team, and believe me, clash and conflicts are an everyday struggle. I have this one teammate that we don't share at all the same values, the same system of belief. But then when I looked back at what I learned, I just started having this conversation when I was inviting him to make one step forward toward me. So I would make one step forward and invite him to do the same. And by doing that slowly by slowly, we actually found a common ground
Mm.
about how to communicate better. How do we not feel threatened or, you know, discouraged or bad about what we are saying to each other, because we know it comes from a place of love and understanding. So I think we just have to be confident in our identities and know that one little altercation cannot change truly who you are. It's just, on the contrary, it's something that can strengthen your value.
Mm.
When you fight for something, you kind of acknowledge that it matters to you. So why run away from it? Like, enjoy the process of fighting for your ideas, um, for trying to get people along with you, because that's truly how you get people going. And I think I'll have a career in politics, not the politics we're all thinking about, but just about advocacy and shared communication, because I really enjoy the process of getting people that are so different working toward a common goal.
Mm.
So we are
Mm.
doing better as a team. If you hear that, Joshua, hi. So yeah.
This is your the person you're referring to, hoping he's listening to our podcast.
Oh, me too. Truly.
Yeah. Good, good, good.
Communication.
Oh, so good, so good. I just love how you're flipping on its head just so much of the default way of being a human, which is I'm right. It feels good to be right. I'm not really that interested in other viewpoints. And you're just flipping all of that on its head. And it's a beautiful thing. And actually, it's kind of an answer to the final question that I have for you. But
Hmm.
maybe you have something to add in this vein, or maybe you have something else to say. But I'm going to go ahead and ask the question, which is, so
Hmm.
we live in a world that's full of suffering, and a lot of that suffering is caused by humans, and it can
Hmm.
be easy to feel overwhelmed and to lose hope. Have you got any words to encourage us about the future?
Yes. I mean, as you mentioned, as human being, we all have our default, our little personality trait that makes it hard to to understand and acknowledge the world we are living in. There's a lot of things that I think are not right at all in our societies, but once again, it's just all about acknowledging why and what makes it so wrong for us, and just speaking up about it.
Hmm.
Um, you mentioned a lot. Oh my God, why would you flip the script completely?
Hmm.
It's truly how I was raised.
Hmm.
We used to have this small session with my mom back at home where we'll have dinner and then like, okay, you're the president of Somalia and
Ooh.
you have a conflict whatsoever. You have 5 minutes to make research and to prove to me why is your point of view right or why is your opponent point of view wrong.
Hmm.
So having to constantly question new ideas. I mean, for example, if you look at, I don't think, can we take examples, actual example of what is happening? Or is,
Please.
all right, the Palestine and Israel conflict.
Yes.
I kind of see a pattern with that. It's
Hmm.
always God has promised me this land. So
Hmm.
people coming into a new space and trying to, impersonate God in a way that has given them a command. I mean, when you look at that logic, it's hard to understand, truly,
Hmm.
but it's still a logic. And if people are going in that field of religion, then use that field of religion to make them see their own contradiction.
Hmm.
So my way of encouraging the future, the youngsters, I'm really proud of our generation, Gen Z,
Hmm.
for speaking up, for acting even in small ways. I've loved the march toward Gaza, where people just started walking to the borders, boats trying to deliver humanitarian help. I feel like by even acting on a personal level, we we can start movements. Um, Look at Greta Thunberg. She just sat in front of her parliament, right? Today,
Hmm.
she's such a big advocate for climate justice and climate change. So get out there, speak up for what you believe is right, and never get discouraged. I mean, the word is not bad. It's just that the bad people have so much resources to get their message out there through the media, to, you know, through every way possible. So we have to fight that, because there's so much beautiful things happening. Um, Barry teach me that you can find pleasure in talking, to strangers. I mean, I've had friendship in Brazil where we'll talk through Google Translate. We don't speak English, um, or I don't speak Portuguese. So get out there. It's okay to be wrong. um, I'm trying to find a final way of concluding this, but I think we can just talk about
It's hard to
about it.
summarize it in one sentence. I mean, I think,
It is.
yeah, you've been sort of articulating it throughout this entire conversation. So I don't want you to feel under any pressure to come to a tidy summary, because it's not tidy. It's
It's not
messy.
tidy at all. It's very messy.
Right?
Learning is messy. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Oh,
Hmm.
I'm sad that we're at the end of our time. I'm so uplifted by my conversation with you, Aisha, and I hope that our listeners are as well. So just one last and enormous thank you for spending time with us, for sharing of your wisdom, and for inspiring all of us today.
Oh, thank you so much, Jason. It was a pleasure. I did my best. I just came back from an internship,
Really?
and I was like, yes, oh my goodness, I have Jason calls. Let me go and connect. So I did my best. I hope that I was able to inspire some of you to get out there, to share your ideas, no matter if people are, not ready to take them. Just just let it go. Let it be. It's okay to be
Mm.
cringe.
It's okay to be cringe.
It's okay.
There we go. There's applicable advice. Applicable advice. It's okay to be cringe. I love
Mm,
that.
anyways, well, thank you so much, Jason. It was such a pleasure hearing back from you after
Mhm.
all this time. Actually, it has always been a year. I mean,
Right.
it has been a year since
Yeah,
where we started.
we met a year ago. Yep. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing.
I know. But
Okay.
I truly hope you get to inspire more youngsters, um, with your wisdom of education.
Listeners, thank you for joining. And we bid you a fond farewell for now.
All right. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Aïcha. If you did, please tell at least one friend about it. Give us a 5-star rating and follow the podcast. That will help others find us. Until next time, let's keep our heads clear and our hearts open.